Hi guys, James at Rampant Lion Reviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we are going to head down to Manchester once again, and this is a brewery that you saw me review not all that long ago. So we're going to go for my second visit to ShinDigger Brewery, and this time we're having a taste of the Session IPA. So this one is called the Mango Unchained. It comes in at 4.2% and it's another one that I picked up from Market Hall Wines in Durham. They've recommended me some really good beers, so if you are watching from the Durham area, please do go and check them out. As always, their Facebook page is in the video description below, so do check them out. So yeah, as always, I'll tell you a little bit about the brewery. If you want to get straight to the tasting, just fast forward. All the usual links are in the description below. That's the brewery website, the link to my other reviews that I've done from ShinDigger before. No doubt I will add some more in the near future. There's all the usual social media. If you want to see more beer reviews, do please consider subscribing to the channel. The whole channel, of course, has a geography-based tagging system, so you can go into the homepage and search for beer based on country, city, state, prefecture, county, whatever it is you're interested in. Do check out the playlist of beers from different countries. There is one there for all the English beers that I've reviewed for you. That's constantly being added to, and as always, please do get in touch and let me know some of the other beers and breweries that you guys would like to see me review. It's always great to hear from you guys that are watching the videos, and the support that you show the channel is hugely appreciated. So anyway, to tell you a little bit about the ShinDigger Brewery then. So as I've told you before, ShinDigger Brewery are based in Manchester, and it was founded by two friends, Paul Delamere and George Grant, who used to brew beers together in their student house. So they sold their beer to friends at house parties, and they kept some aside for themselves, but they used this kind of funding mechanism basically just to keep experimenting. So in 2013 they started to move into professional brewing and began delivering kegs of beer around the city of Manchester to various different pubs, and this was because they got a loan from the government which allowed them to buy kegs and other equipment and things like that. But they were working as a gypsy brewer for a period, and they had a partnership with 3 different breweries across the northwest of England, but they now have their own premises on Cross Keys Street in the city. And one of the really cool things about this brewery was, I'm not sure if they still do it actually, but at one point they were actually doing this kind of mobile bar service where you could order their beer in kegs and they would bring it to your home, and you could sort of rent out the bar and pour your own beers and things like that, which was really cool for parties and things. And apparently they were one of the first breweries in the world to offer a service like that, which was which would be really cool actually. But these guys, we got their beers just appeared up here a couple of weeks ago. You'll be seeing this review a few weeks after it's filmed, probably, just because I've got quite a big backlog at the moment. But I was impressed with their IPL that I tried. As I said with that beer, I would think it was a pale ale if I was tasting it blind. It didn't quite come across as a lager, I thought, but it was a really nicely done beer, so hopefully this one follows in the same light. But yeah, they seem to be getting a good bit of plaudit these days, so if you get the chance to try some of the beers, then I would recommend that you check them out. There's a lot of good breweries popping up in Manchester these days. Of course, you've got the likes of Track, Cloudwater, and various other ones popping up there. So if you get the chance, go to Manchester. Just don't leave your cars in car parks where it's going to get broken into, because that happened to be. So yeah, but anyway, let's get on to the actual tasting of this beer itself then. So yeah, there you can see the nice artwork on this one. It actually does remind me quite a bit. This stuff on the side here reminds me quite a bit of the Brewski artwork from Brewski Brewery in Helsingborg over in Sweden. I do wonder if maybe they've been inspired by that a little bit. We'll see. But yeah, there you can see it. Nicely presented can, this one. There it is. The ShinDigger Brewery thing there with the bee on it. Of course, protect the bees because they are an endangered species. I'm not sure if that's why they've got that on the thing, but it says on the back here, our name ShinDigger embodies our ethos that beer is all about having a good time with friends and enjoying the moment. But yeah, nicely presented can. There you can see the ShinDigger symbol on the front there. They do apparently have an events business as well that I should point out, so make sure, have a look at their website, have a look at their Facebook page, and you'll be able to keep up to date with all the latest goings on there. There's a lot of stuff going on with this company. But anyway, let's get the beer out and into the glass, and you can smell the mango on it right away. I'm probably right in assuming that if it's called Mango Unchained, they'll have put Citra hop in here. You know, Citra of course is the one that tends to give you a lot of mango flavour, but yeah, they've added mangoes and pineapples to the beer at some point in this one as well. But yeah, as you can see, oh, pineapple's really coming out of that actually. But yeah, as you can see and as you'd expect, this one's poured a nice kind of bright goldeny yellow colour. There's a solid 2 fingers of a kind of bumpy white head on that one actually. I would say it's a perfect white head. It's not creamy at all. 1 or 2 big bubbles sticking towards the side of the glass and quite a few little ones just heading up towards the bottom of that head. If I put my fingers behind the glass, you can see there is a degree of transparency to the beer. But yeah, mainly it does have a little bit of a kind of opacity to it, or a bit of opaqueness. I'm not sure what the right word is. I think opacity is the right word. But yeah, nicely presented, or nice looking beer, this one I should say. I can't speak in this video. It's getting annoying. But yeah, nice looking beer. So let's take a closer look at the aroma and just see how we get on. Yeah, definitely the mangoes coming out of this one really nicely. Pineapples as well, as you would expect, they're dominating the aroma. But there's a wee bit of a kind of almost lychee note or something like this, or maybe even a little bit of a, is that gooseberry? Something like that. But yeah, the mango for me, as you would expect from the name, is dominating. You can get the pineapple just underneath it a little bit. But yeah, malt base on this one, you can smell a little bit of the biscuit. Definitely a little bit of a biscuity note in there. Some sort of bready, kind of, yeah, bready sort of pale malty character as well. But yeah, it's nicely done this. It's got a really nice aroma. It's got a nice aroma, this beer. It's mainly just kind of light and juicy. It does smell just like a kind of fruit salad or something like that, to be quite honest with you. So as I always say, just take a little bit of time and enjoy the aroma of the beers before you get stuck in. But let's have a go at this one now. So this one is the Mango Unchained from ShinDigger Brewery down in Manchester. Let's get stuck in. Slàinte, skål. Yeah, I mean, it is pretty just kind of straight up, this beer. It's just meant to be an easy drinker, and that's what it is. Yeah, I do quite like that actually. You know, it's not a beer that's going to kind of blow your head off in terms of hops or malts or anything like that. It is, as you know, it's what you would expect from a session IPA. It's just a nice kind of easy drinker. You know, not heavy in terms of IBUs, nice bit of fruity, juicy quality, and it's got that typical kind of bready malt base that you expect from the session IPAs. So yeah, that's one thing that's always been a bit of a blurry line, to be honest. The main difference between a session IPA and the pale ale, of course. The pale ale is just really kind of linked by its hop to malt ratio. Of course, the pale ale and the IPA, the double IPA, and then the barley wine, they're all linked by malt to hops ratio. And it's this. I've never understood that, where the session IPA comes in. Of course, the point of it is that you can drink a few of them, but I've not really figured out where the kind of line is. Normally, a session IPA will be somewhere around like between 4 and 4.5%. But yeah, that's a side note. But yeah, this beer, I like that. You know, it's by no means is it one that's going to blow your head off by any length of the scale, but it's just nicely done, and that's what you want. So with the malt base of this one, it is, you know, fairly straight up, just a nice kind of pale malty character that blankets the middle of your tongue. A little bit of a kind of biscuity sweetness there as well, which is nice. Some kind of slight earthiness in the back corners of the palate, and as you go further forward along the sides of the tongue, it's got a little bit of that kind of spicy floral aromaticity to it as well, which is really nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's not too heavy in terms of the IBUs, and you can tell one of the things when they add fruit to the beer, the juiciness from the fruit just pushes some of the hoppy bitterness back a little bit. But you can feel that lighter grassy note just around the front curve of the tongue there, and then of course just behind the front curve of the palate, that's where you get that little oily bubble where some of the nice kind of fruity, juicy esters start to come out of the beer. So for this one, I mean, I would say, I reckon there's a little bit of a citra hop in here. There won't be too much of it, right enough. But the interesting thing is, normally with the citra, you do get a little touch of grapefruit to it, and there's a wee tiny bit of that coming out of the beer of this one. But as you go further through it, you do get a bit of the lychee and the kind of gooseberry notes coming out of the beer. But it's just really interesting how it doesn't quite have that strong grapefruit, you know. You do get a little bit of that kind of grapefruit darkness from the citra. So I'm interested to know what hops they've used in this one, but I don't think it actually says on the can. I never looked at that actually, no. It doesn't say what they've used in the can. It does say it's got wheat malt in it though, which would explain a little bit of the breadiness in the beer. But it's nicely done, and I mean that's the main thing. The nice juicy fruity characters in this beer make it a really kind of easy drinking beer. But yeah, it's good. I mean, if you want a nice easy going summer beer, this is definitely one of the ones you want to check out. That would be really interesting as a sour beer, I think, the way that they've brought the fruits out in this. If they could do that as a sort of sour session IPA, I think that would be a really interesting experiment for them actually, to use either Lactobacillus or Brettanomyces in there. I think this beer and the rest of the kind of core recipe they've got with that would work really well. But of course I don't know if they've got the infrastructure in their brewery really to do some of these sour beers, but it's nicely done, that one. I certainly wouldn't hesitate to drink it again. In terms of the mouthfeel then, I would say it's light-bodied, this beer. Carbonation's very smooth. It's got quite an oily mouthfeel, this one, I would say. A little bit of hoppy bitterness. It's not overly bitter at all. There's not too much in the way of IBUs. It's got a big, juicy, fruity character, as you would expect, and the malt base of this one is mainly smooth. It's got a little bit of sweetness to it, but mainly it's a nice kind of smooth malt base. But this beer, definitely, it's quite a juicy one, this. If you like fruit beers, you probably will enjoy this one. It does definitely lean more towards the kind of juicy side of things than the hoppier side of things, as you get with some of these session IPAs, but they've done a nice job of it. I would definitely drink it again. And it's just, as I've said a couple of times in the video, it's just a nice kind of summer, easygoing beer. So have a go at it yourself and see what you think. But the two beers that I've had from these guys so far have been pretty good. So I've got a third one in the fridge, which I'll review. I'll probably film the review quite soon, but you guys will see it a bit later. But the two beers I've had from these guys so far have been pretty good. Just nice, easy drinkers. That's maybe what this brewery's kind of niche is, just to have nice, kind of easy drinking, full flavoured beers. But yeah, they've done a good job of that. So big thumbs up to ShinDigger Brewery for this one. I certainly wouldn't hesitate to drink it again, so have a go at it yourself and see what you think. So once again, thank you for watching my beer reviews. Until the next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Let me know your own thoughts on this beer in the comment section below. Let me know what your favourite beers are from this brewery as well, and hopefully I can review those for you in the future. I do need to review something darker from them, because as I always say, you do get a better idea of a brewery if you have something from the dark side of the scope and something from the light side. But I think all three of the beers that I bought are actually kind of lighter styles, rather than being like a black IPA or a stout or something like that. So I do need to do that in the future. But as I say, let me know your own thoughts on this beer in the comment section below. Let me know what your favourite beers are from these guys too. And as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Check out my social media, and I will catch you guys very soon. The Mango Unchained from the ShinDigger Brewery down in Manchester in England. Slans just now, and I will catch you guys very soon. Skål.